Hey YouTube, as the title says, 11 game win streak with Galarian Weezing, excadrill, and dugtrio. And basically, so double Mudslap user in the back. I already talked about this team on my top teams video, I guess 2 days ago now. And it's very, very strong. Like, yes, you are triple weak to ground all three because you're double steel and a poison. But the only real ground in this meta, Flygon's a little tricky, but you have Ferrothorn, which is super effective on it. And Mudslap is actually neutral against it, so you can maneuver it. But outside of that, anything else that is going to be super effective against you, you are super effective as well against, right? So all the other Mudslappers, you're just going to destroy each other. That was a few of those matchups. And Azumarill is a big one, but then you can do Weezing with Sludge, and then you can kind of combo here. So let's look at this win streak. Actually starts with a loss. I went 1 loss and then 11 straight wins. So I was like, okay, sweet. So Weezing on the lead, going to come in here, and they eventually get into their excadrill. So perhaps the same team as mine. With this meta, especially with these Mudslap users that can just do so much damage, you're basically shielding early and often. If you're left with shields after the game, you're not doing it right. Like, you should be shielding often. And there's the Azumarill here. So just trying to get to the Iron Head. This will do a ton of damage if it lands. I believe they shield, and I'm just trying to burn up the clock. And out comes Weezing. I may shield this. Yeah, again. Because I know they only have this, but then I think I let the overheat go. And that does too much damage. And I don't want to overheat because I'm switch locked, right? And overheat lowers your attack times 2. So I thought, like, maybe I can just go like sludge here, and then get a move off on Azumarill. But we CMP, and I mentioned in my video yesterday afternoon, going with an attack heavy Pokemon is probably a smart idea in this meta, given that there are so many mirror matches. So end up losing by a few there, but not bad. Okay, let's start the wins. Flygon, right? Flygon is very tough for the back line. And okay-ish here. They do have a slight advantage because I do not have any moves that hit super effective besides my fast move. Sludge is resisted on the ground, and overheat is resisted on the dragon. But look at those fairy winds adding up. That excuse me. Jeez. It basically puts them in overheat range. So resistant or not, this overheat from 50% health is going to hurt. And they shield, so I'm not going to just stay in here and get farmed. And this is what I'm talking about, where it's like, yes, the moves are super effective against you, but you're neutral against them. So I basically come in, just sacrifice this, because dugtrio as a shadow does so much damage, and they dumped a Scorching Sand, so this is almost guaranteed just to be a Dragon Claw. And you can see even the resisted Dragon Claw does like 50%. But it is a Ferrothorn in the back, so half steel, half grass, which means these mud slaps and mud bombs are neutral. And take it down to the yellow. And because Bullet Seed does not do much damage and Mudslap does a ton of damage, I am going to commit the shield here, knowing that I can just out-farm this thing. Come out with the move. Going to throw basically blind. It is a Metagross. Why did you not KO a Metagross? Why did you miss 7 bubbles there? Well, I was dealing with pukey kids this morning, so I was trying to do these battles while both kids are home sick. Oy. Anyways, get the win. Azumarill, again, this is a decent lead. Like, if you want to see the Azumarill, you kind of want to see it here. You can, again, combo, even though you're weak to water in the back. You can combo with the back line, but it is much safer just to have it against your Weezing. If you watched my video the other day, you'll know that Sludge is garbage. The fact that a super effective same type attack bonus move can't even do like 40% on an Azumarill is crazy. Sludge is very, very bad, so you're still going to need 3 Sludges to take this out. So there's the second. Here comes the third on not ideal timing, but still not the worst. And we'll take it out, and we'll see what they come in with. And it's a Mudslap user, so I go in here immediately, because what I'm thinking is that they're likely to have maybe a double Mudslap user or something in the back, where I can essentially just match them, right? Match them with the slaps. So I'm going to shield that up hoping that it is. And you know what? It's a glaring wheezing. There's only so many Pokemon you can use. So I do end up throwing a move. I could maybe probably commit it to the farm down here. But because I am loaded on my wheezing, and they have to throw overheat here, right? They have to land on overheat because I am half steel, so the sludge would be resisted. So now I'm at 2 sludges here, and they do end up getting to an overheat, but and they win CMP because my 1 attack. But having lowered their attack times 2 with the first overheat, I live with 1 HP. So pros and cons of a low attack, high defense, high stamina Pokemon. Live with 1 HP, get the sludge off for the win. Again, I probably could have just farmed down between the Mud Slap and the Fairy Wind. I probably should have committed to that, but anyways, Mawile lead coming here again with Mud Slap user, just to be met with some hard hitting Fire Fangs, but you know, everything's gonna delete each other. That's fine. Here comes my dugtrio. Tons of fast move damage going on here. And again, met with a Ferrothorn. So Ferrothorn, I think, is an answer. I mean, it's not an answer to these, because these are half ground. So the grass is neutral. Plus, you have a Azumarill everywhere, right? So it's not a terrible answer. All in all. So getting off another Mud Bomb here, grabbing both shields from the Ferrothorn, and again, just like last time, the Bullet Seed is not threatening to me, but the Mud Slaps are threatening to this Ferrothorn. So down a shield, take switch now into the zeros, throwing basically blind is a Como. So this slap will land, this Mud Bomb will land, do a ton of damage, and then it's just fast move and sludge for the rest. Scizor, again, badly for wheezing, but we have 2 answers in the back, and this is why this team works so well. You got 2 answers. Out comes the Azumarill. That's a tough answer, but you can chip. So here comes a drill run. This will put it into the yellow. Again, is now decision time. What I want to do here. Do I just let this go? Or what I'm going to do, as I often say you should do, is take it into the 1 shield. Or try and flip switch. But I tried there and I'm like, just going to be a bit short. The super effective bubbles are doing a little more damage than I want them to. So I have to just commit to the 1 shield there, which is fine. Because now I can come in here, take a move, maybe get ahead on Fairy Winds here. That if I come out with a overheat or close to it, so that's like 4. So now I'm just 3 away. And in the back is a Carbink. Now, Carbink is absolutely garbage in the open Great League because of all the ground. And now you're bringing it to a Mud Slap dominated 3 ground in the top 5 ranked Pokemon. Not to call my opponent, let's just say, what are you doing? Like, why would you ever think bringing a Carbink to this meta is a good idea? I guess it does deal with wheezing. But even the Azumarills are running like Hydro Pump in this meta. I don't know. I just do not understand this Carbink use here. So easy slaps down scenario here. Dugtrio, right? Slap user. So here we go right away. We got to pivot into what is just basically a mirror match of just destroying each other. But I did take it down to 1 HP. And they did not get out. So I'll let my switch clock kind of run out as much as I can here. I'll Fairy Wind down because that 2-turn move will register before their 3-turn slap, so no damage is done on me. And they got a Sand Slash in the back, so that is unfortunate. I think that was quick, right? Yeah, there's just a nice punch, but that's 50%. And now, if I grab a shield, it is basically just going to have to be a 2-shield scenario Dugtrio here. Yeah, so we're going to instant go, slap on these moves, shield up everything. Dugtrio is so glassy. So, one more. Well, yeah, I throw the move because if they're not getting out against a Mud Slap user, they're probably weak in the back to this. So, forcing that last shield there is the reason that I did that. Because now I force the last shield. Easy shield back. I'll come out with some energy. Let's see what they have in the back. Oh yeah, Galarian Wheezing. Goodbye. This will absolutely destroy. I promise I won't get people sick at regionals on Saturday. Okay, Lucario. Again, this is tough for the backline to a certain extent. And this is where the meta is kind of tricky, and you really need to know how much damage each move does to your Pokemon and how much damage you do to them. Because Mud Slap is super effective against Lucario because they are steel, and their Force Palm is super effective against you because you are steel. So as you're seeing here, basically we delete each other. Out comes the Azumarill, gets a bubble off, takes me out. So now I got my at least Wheezing aligned to it, but my switch clock is very desynced here, so I need to burn as much as I can and hope they don't get out, and they're not getting out, which is huge. So just gonna try and chip as much as I can. And yes, not great timing there, but it looks like we may have CMP'd. So I get off a sludge, which is good, and they shield. So now I need to make a decision. I have 2 shields. I may use one because I want one more sludge. Yeah. They're down to 0 and I had 2 shields. And I shielded because 2 things. 1, I need to get one more sludge to chip this, or else they're going to bubble me a ton. And 2, if they have another like fast move Pokemon in the back, like another Mud Slap user, I'm just going to be taken out between the bubbles and the Mud Slap. So I need to burn that shield there. And it is a Wiggly. Again, kind of risky using a Wiggly in a lot of steel dominated meta. Or Wheezing, which is poison. So I will just get to a move here and take this out. So yeah, it's a very strong team. You just know how much damage each move does. And that's again, limited metas suck. 3 typing metas are brutal. There's 10 usable Pokemon. But you should know pretty quickly how much each move does to your Pokemon and how much your moves do to the opponent's Pokemon. Right? So with that in mind, you should know how to play out different matches, when you need to shield, when you don't need to shield. Like I'll probably shield here because I need to get more sludge chip on this because I don't want to take bubbles on the other Pokemon just yet. So they come in dugtrio. So I'm going to immediately just grab the second shield here. And I'm going to come in excadrill, just doing a ton of damage to each other. Going to shield because they're in the yellow, I'm in the green. They don't have any shields, so I can come out with some energy here. It's not a lot of health, but it's energy, and that will be good for the Azumarill here. And they are down to like 1 HP, so I'm probably just going to sacrifice the Wheezing. Can't get the Fairy Wind through because I hate this game on Android. Get the Ice Beam off, that's fine. Let's Mud Slap it, and yes, another Galarian Wheezing because the Wheezing Azumarill core is pretty rampant throughout, as you saw my first team. Paired it with Turtonator yesterday afternoon. It was on the list for other content inadequates. Put it on his graphic. Trying to remember the other. I don't want to mess it up. Another Lucario. So obviously we'll play this out again because we do not want the Force Palm in the back. Again, we can do super effective slaps as well, but I'd rather not just get into a match where you're just destroying each other. As you can see, I learned from my last mistakes. Yonko Gene, I think is how you pronounce it. Anyways, Empoleon with Waterfall, which again, back in the day was one of the go-tos. So now slap this Azumarill that comes back in. Not slap, draw run. And then slap. Take them down to the yellow, which is nice. Wheezing has some energy, so let's start dumping it on this Azumarill here. And they shield, and I am going to try and get off another move, but they come in Lucario and try and snipe right away. So I do manage to take this out low enough that I can now sludge here. But you would think yellow Azumarill with a super effective sludge, this should take out, but it does not. So I have to commit to the Fairy Wind down before they bubble me down. Close. Magneton, I think this is the last one again. Terrible front lead, great back end here. Shinoctic? Everyone, oh Jesus, I gotta. People ask me, do you watch this? These are my battles, But do you watch viewers who submit their battles? Do you watch their videos ahead of time? No. Do you look up Pokemon names ahead of time? Obviously not. So I sounded out like a grade 1 trying to learn how to read. So I think it's either Shinotic or if the H is silent, Synotic. Anyways, it is a grass fairy that also has access to sludge. And holy crap, this game just cost me like 3 fairy wins there. So now I need to shield instead of just getting the farm down anyways. Have the overheat for the Magneton. So hopefully this one-shots. I mean, hopefully, let it go. One-shots. And then we'll instant dugtrio. And they have a second fairy in the back. So we'll shield up the first move because Moonblast will hurt a ton against a resisted Pokemon because dugtrio is just so glassy. And now get this Mud Bum off. This will have the first shield, and then I should just outpace the next move here. So get to the move. They don't even they're not even out of move, but they would not win CMP against a dugtrio. Goodbye, Clefable. Goodbye, you other fairy Pokemon. And that is it. So very, very, very strong team. Lots of weaknesses on the team. Lots of strengths, like triple weak to ground. But you also hit super effective against the ground Pokemon a million times here too. Except for Flygon. Like Flygon is a little tricky, but you can combo it. Just know how glassy Shadow Dugtrio is. Know how much sludge does not do to an Azumarill. And then you should just be able to work it out there. So that is it. I think I'll do maybe one Ultra League. I'm trying to get a view based on your comments of what people are playing, and just I can just kind of see what's based on views. So sorry, if you want to leave the video and you want to go use the team, you can go. If you want to sit around for Dan Talk, welcome to Dan Talk, the podcast part of the video where I just go over what's ever in my mind. And what is in my mind first is Jesus, he's getting killed and I can't tell. Okay, I'm subscribed to all the content creators, like pretty much everyone. Like I'm just looking right here, and I got a Yonkers video, I got a Rise video, I got a Callum video, I got a Purple Kyogre video, I got a Home Slice video, I got a Virgy. So I'm subscribed to all of them. Now, doesn't mean I watch all of them. It doesn't even mean I watch half of them, because it's pretty tough to do that with my schedule. But it gives me two things at least being subscribed to all these people. One is seeing what teams they're putting out, just so I know. It gives, like, again, two things: structure. There are two things that are the most important factors for defining the meta in GBL. PV Poke rankings, content creator teams. So understanding content creator teams allows me to know what is out there, what are the top YouTubers using, that will give an idea for what I should see out there. The second thing is to look at the views, because the views on the other content creators are a pretty good indication of what people like and don't like. Now, there's some people I can't look at, like Callum, because Callum has a very unique Super Spice channel. So you'll always get that from him. But I just want to get like what's working, what's not working. And then Yonkis is such an interesting case to me, because he is now the second most subscribed purely GBL YouTuber behind Zionic, and Zionic doesn't post anymore. So at this point, he's the number one subscribed content creator. However, Home Slice, who's very highly ranked as well, pulls in minimum 2.5 times more views per video. So I'm looking at Yonk's last 5 videos, and I think it's probably a mixture of stuff. I think it's a mixture of he posts too much. Like I post twice a day and it feels exhausting, and he does 3 to 4 times a day sometimes. So I think it starts to become more quantity over quality, and his views are consistent, but not great. And the recent ones, so like 5 days ago, 11K, 13K, 11K, 11K, 10K, 10K. So that's where he's kind of settled. But some of these Ultra League ones are sitting at like 5K and 4K. So why did I just go in the whole history of his views? One, because Ultra League, his views on Ultra League are not getting anything. Like 4K over 24 hours is so bad. So bad. So it's just good to know, like, good. Like, that is a reflection of what people are interested in. And then again, it's just interesting to see, like, how for someone who's 81K, who generally has grown the majority in the past year. So those should be a lot of newer subscribers to his channel. And just to give you like an example, Home Slice, I'll go back to 5 days ago just so you can get a comparison. Where's 5 days ago? 22K, 24K, 19K, 20K, 24K, 20K, 21K, 22K. So you're looking at minimum double, slightly above. And even the most recent videos where Yunks is at like 4 to 5, Home Slice is at like 9.5 and 15. So like this is why I'm gonna put out a YouTube analytics channel. I find this stuff so fascinating about YouTuber, what makes people subscribe to people, what makes people watch videos, the engagement, the length that people watch. So this is like I'm 100% gonna create a YouTube analytics channel just to go behind like the numbers here. Like Fantasy Cup, I'm interested to see how much. I'm shooting this a couple days in advance, so the Fantasy Cup top teams is doing quite bad for top teams, but we just had this out last week, so maybe people are not going to be watching this as much, top teams. And then I'll be interested to see how much the Ultra League does. But your comments are the other thing that I always look at, even though I can't really respond. And I think I won't use the swear word, but Steak Sup basically said, "Crap cup, not playing this crap." The first crap was starts with an S. So yeah, like a lot of people are upset about these cups already. And you think it's bad now. Wait until next week. Because next week is Master League and Little Holiday Cup. And Little Holiday Cup has a Smeargle, XL Smeargle, where you need to try and get Incinerate and Flying Press on this Pokemon. And it is 14 points higher than the second ranked Pokemon. So we essentially have another limited cup going to be dominated by one Pokemon. Its ranking, its win-losses are 16 and 6. So expect to see a healthy dose. Even some of those losses are like 487, 485, 457. Like those are not bad losses. So I would expect to see a very, very healthy dose of Talonflame and Litwick to counter this top meta Pokemon. But that's a next week problem. But man, that's ugly. Okay. That's enough talking. And it's on for 2 times the Little Holiday Cup. Yeah, it comes back again in like, not just the Holiday Cup, like the Holiday Cup is on next week, 17th to 24th. And then they bring the Little Holiday Cup again on the 31st. But Great League is on, so it doesn't matter. But like, why would you bring that back for this? Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this Dan Talk. Hit the like button if you're still around. And if you're still around and not subscribed, well, you should be, because this is what happens on every video. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.